All right, welcome to week 4. Week 4 is where you're going to write your first draft of your ethical dilemma. And I want you to come back and watch this video after you've gone through the lesson and read about the ethical dilemma, and also watched the video and looked at the student examples in the course. So come back and watch this video after you've watched the course video on the ethical dilemma and looked at the examples, because what I'm going to talk about is common mistakes that students make on the ethical dilemma that you need to avoid. The first common mistake that students make is that they spend too long telling the story. So if you notice on the instructions, right, option 1, personal ethical dilemma, you present the ethical dilemma, but really the bulk of the paper should be analysis of the dilemma, not telling me the story. So while you make your narration vivid and establish your voice and tell me what's happening on and going on, that should only take a paragraph or 2. It shouldn't be 2 pages of the essay. What has to be the second part of the essay and the bulk of the essay is the discussion. So you're going to discuss the ethical frameworks, and you don't worry about frameworks this week. You'll add that in your revision. But why you should have done something that you maybe did or didn't do, right? It's all about what you should have done and not what you did do, unless you did do what you should have done, right? And reasons to support an ethical test, right? We'll learn about those in the course this week, so we'll add those in our revision. But I would say the number one mistake students make is that they spend too long telling the story of the dilemma, and they don't spend enough time analyzing what they should have done and applying the frameworks and ethical tests. So make sure that your essay covers both of those, and you'll avoid that mistake. Another mistake that students make is that they present a situation that is not actually an ethical dilemma. So really spending your time reading ethics in the chapter and really understanding what an ethical dilemma is, right? It's this problem where you sort of have 2 hard decisions to make, right? One would ask you to compromise part of your values or include some sort of value in terms of like honesty or trust or love or commitment, right? There's a value that's being betrayed. Or another would, you might lose a friend in the process, or, there might be some consequence to you for doing the right thing. That's an ethical dilemma. So you want to really make sure that if you're following option 1, that you have an ethical dilemma. So the 2 mistakes students make on this essay: 1, they spend too much time telling the story of what happened and not analyzing what they should have done using the frameworks and tests. And 2, they actually don't have an ethical dilemma. They just have a difficult situation. So you really have to make sure that your dilemma is based on a value that has to be compromised, or that you're debating about, right? So it has to be based on ethics. In the second one, there's not as many mistakes made. So if you're feeling like you can't find an ethical dilemma, choosing one of the writers or one of the situations that's offered and writing about that is good. The only mistake students make here is that they often forget to apply ethical tests and the frameworks. So again, you won't learn about those till in our revision, but making sure we go back and apply those. I'm going to post a great student example tomorrow so that you'll have something to reference, as well as the 2 in the course, and I'll try to give you feedback on your dilemma as well. But I hope that kind of gives you some direction as you begin to write this paper.